This is the part of the program where we go behind the headlines and dig a bit deeper with our guest commentator who will help us explore the stories and issues of the day. And today we have the Current Affairs Honors and Professor of Communications and Deputy Dean of the Postgraduate School of Bayes University in Abuja, Professor Abiodun Adeniyi. Good to see you, Professor Adeniyi. And you see, there's something that is going in the air, and it's amazing how Nigerians are catching in on the subsidy removal. It's strange, but somehow people would like to understand what's the understanding that Nigerians are getting, to the extent that they say, everyone you spoke to tells you, well, it's okay, but this is not the right time. Or it's okay, but I didn't expect to see the price this high.
Yeah, no doubt. We're just talking about contradictions there, so much different kinds of ironies, but I think it is what it is.
You call it ironies?
Yeah, some kind of irony, something that we've all seemed to have been on the same page before now, but now the action is being taken, and of course, we're feeling the pain, just like you said. And the pain, it's looking, the increase in fuel price is looking sort of astronomical, and people are seeing there's going to be some new round of difficulty for them, at the dawn of a new administration. So I think the pain is what is actually making them react like that, and it is a natural thing, Do not forget, maybe if you imagine a surgeon, for instance, telling the patient that, look, this is what you're going to go through, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the patient wants the healing, he will say, yes, it's fine, but it's not going to stop the patients from screaming, when the treatment starts, when the surgery commences. So they are still the same kind of thing, really.
So more like no pain, no gain.
Yeah, no pain, no gain. And of course, there's some gain that we're expecting, but before we get the gain, there has to be some pain. Now, how do we mitigate the pain? That's a question now, because all the sides have been well argued, including from all your guests this evening. The positions have been well put, they've been well situated, but now is the solution. And the solution lies essentially in how we will deal with the pain. The pain is excruciating. No doubt, everybody's going to feel it, whether you are rich or poor. One way or the other, you're going to feel it. But of course, the vulnerable will feel it more. But in terms of the pain, there are so many solutions before government. So many things can actually be done.
Before we get to solution, there's something Michael Press said, which really resonates with a lot of Nigerians, and it's about accountability. We still do not know the numbers. So as much as we're trying to fix this, shouldn't also we be concerned with experts like himself who are bound in the country and all over the place to help us gauge what exactly the country consumes? It's akin to Nigerians just looking up in the sky, talking about the numbers that we are when we don't have accurate sense.
Yeah, I don't also think that it's going to be a problem if we are serious about it. When it comes to science, anything around science, anything around math method, or anything defining the exactitude of processes in this country, we have experts, we have enough professionals to help us come to terms with it. But the problem is the political will and the sincerity of purpose. Oftentimes we find the process being circumvented. And this has become very typical of the Nigerian process. And that's why the conversation will always continue around the need for us to continue to enhance transparency and accountability in the way we do things. Even the subsidy question itself, steeps deep in corruption. And that's why the agitation has continued over the years. And that's why we have all come to be on the same page that, look, let this thing go so that we can begin to talk about other things. If we're talking about our system being a kind of capitalist system, free system or mixed capitalist system, the hallmark of that kind of system is is free markets. And of course, if you continue subsidizing, it doesn't show that we want to be serious about how we define or how we want the market to be. Government's continuous intervention. And this kind of intervention is one, where we can no longer continue to make in a situation where resources are depleting and we're needing to save money. We need efforts in other sectors of the economy, and we're concentrating limited resources in feeding some fat cats, or in feeding corruption. a malaise that we think we should deal with headlong. So I think it's about time. But back to the point, I think management is also very important. How are we going to manage this crisis? The ball is still back. It's still in the courts of government, you know. And of course, explanations can be given, strategic, proper communication can be advanced, you know, to assuage, you know, all aggrieved, supposed parties that are aggrieved, Labour particularly. You know, what are the measures you are going to take to mitigate the pains on the workers? You know, increase in wages has been one that has been said, that has been said severally. What about, you know, tax holiday, tax reduction, or as the case could be? You know, what about some other kind of grant? You know, not most importantly again, Suleiman, a sincerity of purpose in terms of sincerity of purpose in governance. You know, good governance, ensuring that, you know, what you say is actually what you do. You know, do not say A, then you are doing B. You know, we want to see actual demonstration on the part of new government officials of what they are actually, the pronouncement they are making. There has been a disparity between government pronouncements and action. We have seen this so much of it in the past, and we think we want to start on a new slate. And the place to start is the efforts that we're making to mitigate the pains from the removal of subsidy.
As if you just saw the outcome, because the Trade Union Congress has just sent out a release now, signed by the President, Comrade Festus Osifo, and the Secretary General Nuhu Abba, with a long list of some of the demands that they want, and some of the things you just highlight here. Key there is minimum wage should be increased from the current 30,000 naira to 200,000 naira before the end of June 2023. So now, talking about willpower and you know, workable demands. How does this work in the face of labor that are also a part of the people that should understand the dynamics that are at play here?
I think it's a very tricky thing, really. But first, we have to be philosophical about it, remembering that we're all citizens. We're all working towards the same objective. You know, those who are removing the subsidy and those who are also agitating for workers are also citizens. They are not from anywhere else, you know. So we have this a nation, a common nation, the interest of a common nation to preserve. That's very, very important. And of course, 250 is not too much. You know, do not forget, even in the past, we have made the argument that Nigeria is a country where we permanently live a lie. You know, 30% minimum, 30,000 minimum wage. Where can it take anybody to? Even the permanent secretary is probably earning 500,000. Of course, we know he doesn't live by 500,000. You know, somebody who's earning 200,000 and paying a rent of 1,500 naira, you know, that's false, you know. And of course, we know majority of the Nigerians who are working, the majority of them are practically what the International Labour Organization call, you know, working poor, what the NLC call in work poverty, you know. So we are living a lie, we know all these things, but how do we resolve it? Maybe that's what TUC or NLC is saying, that first of all, begin by increasing the minimum wage to 200, but I doubt if the government can accommodate that. At the end of the day, at some point, there might be some meeting point, maybe 100,000, 120, 150. I know in the private sector, the minimum wage they pay is around 80, 90, 100, largely, you know, serious private sector organization. So if government can try to match it somewhere, or but definitely go above 30%, which is 30,000 naira, which is nothing, really. I think it will make some sense, you know. But again, do not forget, if you may pay 1 million naira, and if there are no structures, there's no evidence of good government, if people still have to fund for themselves, there's no social safety net, no social security system, that money will pale into insignificance at the end of the day. But it's only good governance that can bring all those about.
Professor Adeniyi, I would like to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Do join us again tomorrow from me, Sulaiman, Aled, and the entire team here in Abuja. Goodbye.